I am Gregory Cockery, Esquire, and doggone it, this is the Wildwood Takeover. Look out now. And today we've got some interesting guitars. We've got, oh, you doggone thing. I am going to be playing this Friedman Vintage T Classic three-tone sunburst with a humbucker in the neck, ready to launch into great musical activities. Just going to share this over here. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, you dirty dog. Sometimes the phones, you upgrade the doggone, and then it does all kinds of weird stuff. Am I right or am I right? You upgrade the doggone, and then next thing you know, everything looks different, functions different. What is with you, phone? Oh, you crazy iPhone. How's everybody doing out there? You all right? I do strike again, Mr. Gregarious, and I like it. I like it. You know, sometimes I just get frustrated with chords and technology. Michael wants to know, hey, he says, Greg with many G's afterwards, which I can dig. He says, what is that lovely modulating device? Well, that is the harmonic vibrato on my signature Koch amplifier, the Greg, which is in this corner over here, this blue device. It's right on board. Can you dig it? Dig that? It sounds good. The pickups in this bad boy are, they just call them classic humbucker and classic T-style. There's a middle. Nice little balance in the middle. Yeah, it's regular Fender scale on this. Can you dig it? Yes. So I got to blow my nose. It's cold. It's cold in this house, and my nose gets cold because I'm a big fella. And that nose is a long way from the rest of my being. Gets a little cold. I'm like a big old dog with a cold nose. Can you dig it? I'm digging this guitar. Friedman does it again. It's been savaged by some kind of wild animal. And I like it. And this little beast is a Friedman Vintage T Classic. And 3TS. That's three-tone sunburst to you and I, ladies and gentlemen. A little 3TS. Throw that in your everyday jargon. Honey, I need a new guitar. I need a 3TS. Three-tone sunburst. Let the world go wound. Let the girl go wound. What the whole? I'm not even saying words now. This is heavy. It's heavy aging. They don't call it relicking at Friedman. They call it heavy aging. So this guitar has been, I want to say it was left alone with a feral hog. And it just let loose an imaginative, there's a word that's not, imaginative excursion into a past that never was, of roadhouses, wedding gigs, and barn dances gone awry, where there was some battle involved, where the only way you could defend yourself was grabbing an instrument and charging into the breach with the phalanx of your musician friends to do battle with the forces of evil. And this guitar prevailed. And as a result, not only is it visually a reminder of great victory in the sight of great adversity, but it plays broken in and sounds doggone delicious. 60s classic neck shape on this. I would say that's a nice C shape on this rascal. Can you dig it? And it has compound radius 10 to 14. We've come to know and love it. We've come to know and love the compound radius. You're down here, you're going, yeah, get it. Whoo, yeah. And then you get up here and you're like, oh, woo. Those are the sounds you make with a compound radius. With a regular radius, you're like, ooh. But here you're like, oh, woo, get it. You starts urging yourself on with strange sounds. At least I do anyway. I think that's added value to any guitar experience. What? Is that a Brazilian fretboard? No, but it is rosewood. They don't delineate whether it's Brazilian or not. Just rosewood. And it does have little, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to go up a little closer. It's got these little circles with them. They're like little pearl donuts. You know what it says? Bring your hands hither and take and feast on the sonic night. Am I right or am I right? How does one fret level a compound radius? Jay, these are I don't know these things. I don't know these things about things like that. What else we got? We got a Godot saddle bridge, 6-saddle bridge. Godot 6-saddle bridge with the brass saddle. I always find brass, it's just got a little bit of extra twang to it. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not one of these, people like, whoa, just put different screws and but I'm going to tell you, in my experience, playing a bridge with brass saddles versus not, there is a difference. There's a little bit extra twang-a-lang-a-rooney with the brass, okay? Yeah, Dylan's not here today. He's not usually here for the Wildwood shoots anymore. He's here for the Fishman's shoots, and those are Mondays and Fridays. And, of course, don't forget the band is doing our live stream Saturday night at 5 o'clock. Hint, hint, hint. These are not Fishman pickups in here, Evan. These are the Friedman pickups. So typically what happens is we're trying to get in this routine where Wildwood sends me 4 guitars a week, and I do 2 on Tuesday, and I do 2 on Thursday. And today's 2 are this Friedman Vintage T Classic in 3TS, your 3-tone sunburst, And then also this glorious Sir Classic tea, which is made out of Paulownia wood, which we've discussed before in song. Una Paulownia Blanca. I don't know what that means. Feels good, though, to say it. And I'll be playing that one in a mins. But right now I'm kind of grooving on this crazy beast. Am I right or am I right? Sounds good. That's right. Grover Jackson makes these guitars for Dave Friedman. Grover Jackson from of course, the old Jackson Guitar Company. Hello. And then he's been all over the doggone place. But now he's found a good home with Mr. Friedman. They're pumping out some cool guitars, and this is one of them. And I dig it. Kind of makes me feel like Andy Summers a little bit. What was that? Right? I'm just a castaway. Sweet. Yes. What? Mm-hmm. I am using the for those of you who are wondering what I'm doing down here with my doggone feet. When I use the Looper Duper, if I want a little gain ski, I hit that little heat pedal that I got hooked up today. The overdrive on the amp, here's the first low. Amp distortion's always a little bit more open sounding. Extra little gain boost here. This is OTS. Really takes it over the damn top. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll have the overdrive on and I'll put the OTS on top. I'll put tube saturation, that's called. Gets all beefy and juicy. And this right here gets me the delightful harmonic vibrato. And it's a green light that says, "Come, enter the port of sanctuary." Anyway, I thought you'd enjoy that little guided tour of what's going on, but down by my feet. And I've got my Brooks shoes on that are called the Beast. When I got these shoes, I said, they're called the Beast. Does that mean one shoe is the Beast, or do I have a pair of beasts? Hard to say. It's never been really sussed out. So I'm going to say, I got me a pair of beasts on my feet. Come on, get it. All right. No, Grover is not any relation to the Muppet Grover. Come on, Jay. What the heck? Not everything's about Sesame Street. One Telecaster. That's the insane count that I was doing there. It is Halloween. Rig rundown, right, Tom? I'm giving you a little bit of this, that, and the next thing for the kids. Which model amp is that? Nice Univibe. Well, doggone it. This is my signature amp from Koch Amplifiers. The same last... See, there's another version over here. Koch. My same last name. We're not related. But we are through the family of rock. Okay? But the amp we did called the Greg has all those different features you just heard. And it's a blue Tolex device that has two 10-inch speakers. And they have them at Wildwood Guitars. They come in and they go out and they find a happy home and people turn it up and they go, oh my God, life is so much better now because I got a Koch amp that I can put on that harmonic vibrato. And anytime bad feelings or bad vibes are lurking, I just play a Care Bear chord and put that harmonic vibrato on, and next thing you know, sanctuary is at hand. Troubles go away. Good feelings prevail. I suggest playing this chord next week when there's going to be a little situation happening in our lands. I'm not going to get into that. But anyways, keep the Care Bear chords handy. That's all I'm going to say. Am I right or am I right? Diggity dog it. Okay, this question from Steve Miller. Is this the Steve Miller? I'm going to fly like an eagle caw-caw, through the sea. Eagles don't fly in the sea. What am I talking about? Steve, in your opinion, is the Friedman worth $3,000? One of the best buys for the money, in your opinion? Well, Steve, I will say that, you know, when you have more of a custom-made instruments with all the best stuff on it, you're going to be looking at least in that price range. And if it had a different, you know, more iconic brand name on it, a guitar with this amount of individual work on it would probably be maybe a couple grand more. So I would say it's a good deal. If you want kind of a higher end, spiffed out, boutique-ish guitar. Does that make sense? Viva the Care Bear chord. You hear that? That chord's going to save the world, okay? They should play that before every international meeting of anybody about anything. Excuse me, before we proceed. Now let's begin. Right? I think it's a good idea. Care Bear chords, hither and yon, Care Bear chords. So-called Care Bear chords. Please do me a favor and Google DJ Ortels? Lars, I will do that when I get a chance, as long as it's nothing filthy. I can't take the filth. Stay back, filth. Not today, filth. Am I right or am I right? Okay. What other things to say? I like the three-tone sunburst as well. I think it's very. I've always been a sucker for these kind of guitars, primarily because of Andy Summers, who was a Police fan out there, right? Everyone was a Police fan. Oh. That's all I know. Thank you. Some Iceman licks in the middle position. Well, let's see what we got. Yeah, a little bit of that Iceman cometh. Right? Right? mean? It just sounds good. So there you have it. That's our first specimen for today. So as I was saying earlier, for those of you who weren't here, Wildwood is sending me 4 guitars a week, and I play 2 on Tuesday, I play 2 on Thursday. The 2 for today, the 2 I did on the 2 for Tuesday was a Wildwood 10 55 Relic Stratocaster, which was beautiful, from the Fender Custom Shop. And then I played a Tamo Ash Artisan Wildwood 10. A beautiful specimen with a TV Jones pickup in the neck position, which was excellent. And now today we've got 2 T-style guitars. This is a Friedman Vintage T Classic in 3-tone sunburst. Heavy aging. It's been savaged by a beast. It's been in close quarters with someone you do not want to make angry. Okay? I'm just going to put that right down on the contract for your soul. What? 60s classic neck shape, 22 plecked frets. What is this? Plecked Jeskar 47095. I don't know what that means. There's the kind of frets that are on there. Okay? FYI. Compound radius, 10 to 14 inch radius. Goto 6 saddle bridge with the brass saddles. And these pickups are made by Friedman. They just call them the classics. They just call them the classic. Look, we got a classic humbucker. We got classic T-style pickup in the back, telly pickup. We're going to call them classics. You know why? Because they adhere to the ways of classicism. That's not a word. Another fail from Dread. Who was TV Jones? Who is TV Jones, you mean, Michael? He exists. He's a very intense man. He's a good fella, and he makes pickups. He makes excellent pickups. TV Jones. That's a song called TV Jones. I liked it. Okay, I'm going to switch guitars now. Stand clear. Stand clear. Stand firm. Stand clear and stand firm. Mr. Friedman made a guitar that was really cool. But now it's time for John Sear's guitar. Made out of Polonia. Ooh, this one's so light. This one is 6.11 pounds. The other one was 7.65, which isn't bad. But this one, made out of Polonia wood. Una Polonia Blanca. Wow, there I go again. Doggone it, me. This is a Sir Classic T Polonia Trans Vintage Yellow Satin. Ooh, I like that kind of satin neck finish. Roasted maple. Right? Sounds good. Right, sounds good. This one is a Sir Classic T. Polonia is the wood. 6.11 pound. 22 stainless steel frets on this bad boy. It does also have a compound radius, 10 to 14. And again, they call their pickups classics. It's just, classic single coil. A slim, even C neck profile is what they're causing it. Can you dig it? I got a dime roll in my pocket going shang-a-lang-a-lang. Notes take off. I like it. Sounds good. It is a velvety tone, isn't it? Was there a Streamus Interruptus? Streamus Interruptus. Let us not disrupt us. We don't want that, ladies and gentlemen. Are we back online? Are we back grooving and a moving to the jams for the kids? Someone a little out of tune on me, only simply because it's right out of the box. And it is cold here in Orange Room. I'm not going to lie. It's a little on the Kolsky side for old Dradosaurus Rex. The power of Polonia. The Care Bear cord, it always comes. Oh, someone's cooking some delicious food in the other room, ladies and gentlemen. There is a bold vapor that's coming from the kitchen. Yeah. Tone sounds good. I dig it. Scott says, just arrived. Is that the new little tweed? It is in the background here. I don't have it plugged in right now. I'm actually going through the usual Koch amp, the Greg. I did fire that rascal up earlier and put some videos up on my YouTuber channel. But I think we're going to call it the Little Gristle. The Little Gristle. Good Lord, it sounds good. Can you dig it? Can you dig it all? Gristle soup. I like that kind of talk. It is gristle. You mean that's what's for dinner, Patrick? Yes, perhaps. Locking tuners on this bad boy. Someone asked, what's the advantage of a compound radius? Well, sometimes you want something with a little bit more radius down here for chords, and then when you get up here more in Schwedelville, you want it to be flatter, just because it's ease in bending and so on and so forth. That's kind of the modus operandi for that. It did sound sweet with those P90s, am I right? Oh, Lord, I can't wait for all of that stuff to come out. 2021! We're looking forward to turning the page on 2020, am I right? We just got to get through this doggone year alive. And then 2021 is going to be a year of hopeful activities. Well, I know for one thing that there will be delicious new guitar and amplifier products bearing my Savage moniker. And they're going to sound good. And that's it. Doggone it. Can you dig it? Levi asked, quarter sawn versus non-quarter sawn for tone. Well, there is definitely something to it. There's just no doubt about it. That's one of the things that Wildwood does with their Wildwood 10 versions of their Fender Custom Shop guitars, is that they come with a quarter sawn neck. A little bit more expensive, but the wood resonates differently. And if you played two guitars back to back, one quarter sawn and one not, you're going to notice a little difference. And what that is, I haven't really A-B'd, so I can't say, all I know is that the guitars I've played that were Wildwood 10s are some of my favorite guitars that exist in Christendom or anywhere else for that matter. So I'm going to say there's something to it. Eric Johnson was always one that would, when he requested his guitars be made, his signature guitars, they were quarter sawn, because he felt there was an added tonal advantage. Advantage is a French word. It's just a fancier way of saying advantage. Actually, it's not a French. I don't even know if that's anything, but fun to say. I'm going to tell you that right now. Fun to say. Do fat necks really sound better? Levi, that's a good question as well. I happen to think that where there's more wood, there's more tone. I was talking with, if I can name drop a little bit here for you. And you know what? Why not? Why not drop a few names and bruise some toes? Am I right? I was talking to Red Volkert the other day, doing one of our podcast interviews, and we were talking about our mutual buddy, Bill Kirchen. I got to get him on the podcast as well. And he has a Telecaster that was made by this guy in New York, and they took the wood out of the, at least the body wood was out of the Astor Hotel from New York, but I don't know if the neck is, but the neck is huge. It's pine, but it's this massive neck, and it does not have a truss rod in it because the neck is so big it doesn't need it. And that guitar is a tone machine. So there is some thought about it, but then, wait for it, some more name dropping. Put on your steel toe boots, because here it comes. Was talking to Joe Bonamassa about an hour ago for another podcast. And we were talking about bigger. He doesn't like the bigger neck profiles because it's not comfortable to play. So he's not really a fan of the bigger necks. So I guess one way or the other, if you're comfortable with a bigger neck and you like the way that feels, then you might get the added advantage of a little extra girth and tone as a result of that more wood, more tone thing. But if it's uncomfortable for you to play a larger neck, the point is moot. Or as I used to like to say, the point is mute. You know, you live and learn. What? Anyway, what kind of talk is that? Have you thought of releasing a CD of your vocal scatting? Well, you know what? There's always time, Michael. There's always time to engage in further talks on scatologic. Well, not scatologic. We don't want to go there. That's not the same thing. Or is it? Woo! How does Joe play all those Esquires and LPs? Well, what's amazing is, as we were discussing, is that a lot of the early tellies, the necks aren't as big as you thought that they were. And he was talking about how, he has that Esquire. No, it's a 51 no-caster that someone had put a humbucker in the neck position, and that's one of his favorite guitars of all time. And the Fender Custom Shop, Greg Fessler is actually going to be building, I believe, 100 of them. And anyway, I said, well, how big is the neck on there? Is it a big? And he's like, no, it's not really that big. And he doesn't really like bigger necks. And as a matter of fact, he erred on the side of a little smaller when they were redoing it. So there you go. Let's see what else we have. Speaking of Joe Bonamassa, have you been to Nerdville? Tom, yes, I have. I have been to Nerdville. And we were also talking about that, about how once he brought out that broadcaster and I started playing it, I was like, I'm okay with this guitar. You keep on bringing another one. I'm okay. I just want to play this one. And then we also made the humorous thing. It's amazing what that decal can do for you, because really the guitars between the broadcaster, the no-caster, going through, I forgot, early 52 were basically the same guitar. So there you have it. Good to see that you're no longer a mall walker, but doing well. Mark, I am only a mall walker when the weather turns, and we're getting to that point now where the weather turns and it gets cold. Then I go in the mall. If I can go outside, I'm going to be outside, but I don't like. Here's the problem with walking. I know this is a non sequitur to whatever, but when the ice starts to form, that's when I no longer walk outside, because there's nothing worse and slipping on the ice. Am I right or am I right? I slipped on the ice a few years back and I bruised some ribs and jumping Jehoshaphat. Nothing will make you feel 5,000 years old like a good old-fashioned falling on your butt from ice slippage. And so that's when I go in the mall with my septuagenarian and octogenarian friends. I say, hey, what's going down, bros? The proletariat doing laps in the mall. Of course, now with COVID, we got to be careful. We'll be masked up in there, going back and forth. Yeah, can you dig it? Let's see. What? I think the neckwork has more to do with the tone than the body. It could be, Mark. I think there's an argument to be made. Rolled frets. I guess when someone points it out to me, I go, yeah, that's cool. But it's not something that annoys me one way or the other. Rob says, the Dwayne Allman noodle was great. Thanks for sharing. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Go down like a shot deer. Yes, Terry, I did. I did indeed. Maple cap versus One Piece, mythical or just hype? Well, there's always stuff to these little things. I mean, a lot of people really get into the minutia. To me, it's one of these things. If I play a guitar and I really, really like it, you can dissect what it is you like about it, I suppose, and say, well, it seems I gravitate towards maple necks and ash bodies. But then again, I play my Reverend guitars that has a Carina body with a maple neck, and I really like that too. So I think it's one of those things where you can, obviously you play something, wow, I really like, well, this happens to have X, Y, and Z. Well, then you kind of know the recipe. But sometimes you play a guitar that doesn't have any of those things. I like that one too. So But there are little things that make a difference. Like we talked about the quarter saw, or the bigger neck versus the not bigger neck. They all have different effects on the tone, I reckon. But yeah, it's all those little things. But if you like guitar for the way that it is, and it's in your price point, and you dig it, then no harm, no foul. Can you dig what I'm talking about? If it's wood, it's good. Right, Mike, I dig it. Steve asks, Esquire versus Teletone. Well, now this is another one of these things that's, is it a scientific explanation? Maybe. I've heard some people add validity to what I'm about to say. But Esquire, you get a good Esquire, and that back pickup has just that single pickup. It just has such an additional character and swagger to it. It just maybe drives an amp a little bit more. It's just got such a pure Tele bridge pickup tone because you got that one pickup that's not fighting with another pickup for all the magnetic pull. So it gets one pickup gets all the magnetic pull of the strings. I have no idea if that's nonsense, if that's magical talk, or if that's reality talk. But it does make sense in some way, just like Les Paul Jr.'s a single pickup guitar that just rocks like a demon. You know what I mean? Whitfield makes a great guitar. I dig his guitars. It's a good sounding guitar. Note to Greg from my buddy Ryan, I can't see the YouTube comments right now. They might not be coming through on the stream. So sorry about that, YouTube folks. For some reason, I'm not seeing YouTube comments come in on my restream feed. So sorry about that. We don't. Sometimes technology is annoying. Yeah, folks, so just to review, someone's asking what this guitar is. So Wildwood sends me 4 guitars a week to play. I send them back, don't worry. A lot of times people buy them right after I do the streams. That's why it's been working out for us. But I do 2 guitars on Tuesday, 2 guitars on Thursday. And the 2 today are this little rascal, a 6.11 pound Sir Classic T made out of Polonia wood, and it's trans vintage yellow. Compound radius neck, 10 to 14 inch, slim even C neck profile. It sounds magnifico. Ryan says, we were just discussing Polonia wood on the Drummers World forum. Maybe I missed it. But how does it feel? It sounds darn good. It does. I guess it's, closest to ash, but it's got its own thing. It definitely seems to be very dynamically responsive. And the wood. I mean, the notes really are going. Right, exactly. Someone just said, Michael just said, there's bloom on top of the sustain there with that, sir. You are exactly correct. And that might be the Paulownia wood. It doesn't. It's a cool sounding guitar, without question. And the other guitar I played earlier, folks, for those of you who weren't here, was this little rascal, which is a Friedman guitar. Also, you know, these are both boutique-y, delicious versions of T-style guitars that are tricked out. Did Lou Paulo die? I saw his picture online earlier, and I didn't have a chance to read what it was all about. He was a great guitar player. I did get a chance to play with him with Les Paul, actually, at the Iridium, 2004, 3, somewhere in that neck of the wood. That's too bad. It's horrible. Ever played an unfinished guitar? I imagine the resonance really being there. You know, I have not, Levi. I have not engaged in that kind of activity. Sounds good. Sounds good. What song was that, dude? That's a Roy Buchanan song. I think that's called Live Wire or Hot Wire. I think there's a wire involved. Someone's asking about using the pedal or just the amp. That's just the amp right there. Here's a little heat pedal. Back to the amp. Yeah, the Roy Buchanan. The Roy Buchanan version of Hey Joe is awesome. Can you dig it? Yeah. Woo! A little bit of that Roy Buchanan activity, ladies and gentlemen. It's good for you. What speakers are in my cab? The cabin here, they are Jensen Jet speakers. There's 2 10s in there. Yeah, can you dig it? Again, sorry to the people on YouTube right now. For some reason, I am not seeing your comments through Restream. Sometimes that happens and it's obnoxious, so I'm sorry about that. I will try to fix that for next time. We'll be back tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central Time, Dylan and I for the Fishman live feed, and then I'll be back Saturday night with Toby and Dylan doing our band live stream, Koch Marshall Trio. That will be Saturday night, 5 p.m. Central Time. Can you dig it? Oh, well, you dig it. Let's just go back to the other guitar ones just for the heck of it. I'm going back to the Friedman now. And this is a Friedman Vintage T Classic 3-tone sunburst. This one's got an alder body. Big and bold. Boom. Friedman sounds good too, doesn't it? Both nice guitars. If you're interested in either one of these instruments, there is a link on the information for this live stream on whatever platform you're watching it. There's a link to these very guitars on the Wildwood website, and you can check them out. And, well, thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. It does have the Andy Summers look, doesn't it, Terry? It does remind me of the Andy Summers guitar. And it's been savaged by a Wolverine. And apparently what a lot of people don't understand is that the Wolverine saliva is a tone elixir. So what Friedman has done, that's not true. I don't know that's true. It's good story, though. Our relicking process involves the Wolverine and its toneful saliva. It savages the guitar for 48 hours, caking it with its plaque from its powerful incisors and some juicy saliva from deep within the bodice of the Wolverine, giving it a bold tone that is both wild and savage. Wow, that's a lot of information. Yeah, Born Under the Bad Sign, is that what that riff is from? Albert King. Born Under a Bad Sign. No, I'm not in Boulder. I'm in Wisconsin right now. I have not been out to Colorado since February, as a matter of fact, due to COVID-19. Am I right? Yes, all of those things. Good evening from the Netherlands. Well, good evening to you, Pascal. Enjoy the Netherlands on this crisp autumn night. Can you dig it? All right, folks, listen, I better hit it. There's a delicious meal being prepared in the other room, and I'm getting hungrier than the doggone Sasquatch in heat. I'm ready to feast. So thank you, Wildwood, for your glorious sponsorship of this series of events that we're doing here in the Orange Room from afar. And check out the Wildwood website. It is a place where your soul will be usurped by the power of the lust you have for the guitars that dwell within. Fret size on the Friedman. That's a good question, Lou. They are 20. All it says here is 22 plect Jescar 47095. So I don't know if that's the same as like a 6120 or 6105, excuse me. 6120, that's a Gretsch guitar. Sorry, my brain sometimes just says, you know what, I'm checking out. It happens. All right, friends. Have a good night. Thank you for tuning in. Again, tomorrow we'll be back at 4 p.m. Central. And again, Saturday night with the full band, 5 p.m. Central. Saturday night, Koch Marshall Trio for a special holiday edition, the Halloween edition. We are actually going to channel various pirates from the past and have them take over our beings as we play and engage in sonic plunder for your listening and dining pleasure via the internet. What more can you ask for? I'm thinking nothing. All right. Have a good one, y'all. We'll see you later.